Hello everyone, I'm the Whiskey Enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have 4 whiskies of the same age, similar styles in the sense that Highland or Speyside, and we're just going to compare them and see which will come out on top, which do I prefer. I'm going to rank them from the beginning to the end and basically give a small review of them each. So I'll put a timestamp underneath. So if you're just interested in 1, 2, or 3 of them instead of watching the whole thing, you can just go and pick whichever you're interested in. Now, I didn't want to put anything that's peaty. So I know there are more 16-year-old whiskeys out there, especially like if you go to Old Pulteney, you get a lot of maritime notes. There's Highland Parks, and of course we have Lagavulin, which I did a review of. I'll put it up there. It was one of the first ones I did, so go easy on me. And we also have the Lafroig 16, which I also did a review, also up there. And so nothing peaty, nothing too strong, more, well, some of them are more cask driven, but basically continuing from the Speyside and the Highlands region. Right, so without further ado, shall we start? First off, we have the Balvenie Triple Cask. There we go, that's the thing. I'll just take it off and show you the bottle. The dram has been sitting there for a while now, which is good. I'll just show you the bottle. Classic Balvenie bottle, 16-year-old. David Stewart's signature is there. And basically 40% ABV. I am pretty sure it's chill filtered. Well, and yeah, and pretty sure, I don't know about color, you know. Right. Let's read it. It's 16-year-old in 3 distinct cask types: Oloroso, sherry butts, and first fill bourbon barrels. Oh, sorry, Oloroso sherry butts, first fill bourbon barrels, and traditional whiskey casks. That means refill bourbon, basically. And anything else? No. Basically, no. Credited for being inventors of the cask finishing, alongside with actually Glenmorangie. I think they fight who's the first one to do it. But basically, first is Oloroso sherry butts, imparts deep, rich fruit and subtle spice. And then first fill bourbon barrels. And the third one, it says traditional whiskey casks. It's basically refill bourbon, like I said. Right, this is the Balvenie 16-year-old Triple Cask, 40% ABV. I'm not in love with Balvenies. I enjoy their taste. Balvenie 17 was fantastic. I think they're overpriced, and if you want to get any decent specs in Balvenie, you gotta go really high up. The tons are good, the 21, 22, if they're like the what was the Story of the Rose, they were really good, but ridiculous prices. And at the core range, to get any decent spec is near impossible. All right, on the nose, Balvenie Triple Cask. The Oloroso is extremely apparent. You get sour notes coming from it, dried fruit notes, honey. Honey is epitomous with Balvenie. It just comes as honey. A little bit malty, vanilla, caramel, sugary. I mean, it just smells like sugary water with a little bit of spice underneath. That could come from the Oloroso, that could come from 16 years of oak. It's not a robust nose. Even now you can tell it's a bit diluted. Let's see on the palate. Very easy, pretty palate. Sweetness continues. The honey continues. A little bit of malty notes. The dried fruits are more apparent now. The spiciness is not there. On the finish, dry oak spice is coming with the dry notes from the Oloroso. And vanilla, caramel, all the bourbon notes you can get. On the palate, it's an easy sipper. I mean, it's a breakfast whiskey. The finish, yeah, I just have a little bit of oak spice. I'm going to give it a medium finish. Unfortunately, the 40% and the chill filtration makes it suffer. I'm not going to spend too much time on all of these, otherwise it's going to be a fantastically long video, and neither YouTube algorithm nor you guys are fan of those. So it's just going to be a fast track one. So that was Balvenie. Let me cleanse my palate. Now we have the Mortlach 16, the Beast of Dufton. There you go. I love the Mortlach bottles. Really, really good. 16-year-old, 2.81 distilled and bottled at 43.4% ABV. It would be probably chill filtered, but I don't see anything about the color. Ex-sherry casks, fully ex-sherry casks. Now, what is 2.81 distilled? Basically, very simple way. Partly it's double distilled, partly, which imparts like malty bready notes, partly it's triple distilled, fresh, fruity, and part of it is quadruple distilled, which gives it, what did I wrote there? More spicy notes, apparently. And marriage of them in total of makes 2.81. On the nose, complete different animal. This is ex-sherry cask. The spicy notes are there, immediately hits you. Vibrant, honeycomb. These guys use traditional worm tub condensers, which give you a bit more meaty and heavier spirit. It is apparent on the nose. I'll put a photo of the worm tub dispensers. They look really cool. Right. Yeah. Heavy chocolate, spicy, roasted nuts. Smells oily. Sweetness is there, but not overly sweet. There's a bit of a, not metallic, minerally note. Hint of smoke, but that's probably coming some nice charred casks, that's all. And yeah, chocolate, spice, a little bit of cut grass. Vibrant, fresh, on the palate. Very different. Very, very different. Dark chocolate. Really nearly burnt toast. Heavily roasted nuts. Spice is not there. It just feels old school. When I first tried whiskey, this is what it reminds me of. It's robust. It doesn't burn at all. Nothing like that. But it feels robust. It feels older. It feels like it has ties to a previous generation. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's the worm tubs that's making it a very heavy. It's heavily sitting. It's dry and oily at the same time, which is weird because on the palate it feels dry, but the finish feels extremely oily. It's satiating. You have a little bit of this and it's enough. You have you just savor it. Whereas this one, it was super light. And yeah, now honey and malty notes come a bit more forward, but overall, a much heavier spirit than the Balvenie. All right, on to Fettercairn. Right. Fettercairn, 16-year-old. This is the fourth release. A marriage of aged ex-bourbon casks and first fill port pipes. I'll just show you the bottle. I really like the bottle. See, I don't know if that's what they're trying to aim, but Fettercairn's, I'll put the photo up there. Fettercairn's second spirit still has like a ring around it. I bet it is what they're aiming because I just saw the ring there. Ring around it, and it just pours cool water through the second spirit still, which obviously makes the condensation slower. So because of its cool water, the alcohol vapors go down, distill again, and yeah, more copper interaction gives you a lighter spirit. And this is the fourth release, 2023 one, bottled at 46.4% ABV, non-chill filtered, and yeah, the whiskey, it says non-chill filtered. And natural color. All right. I like port. Sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming. It doesn't say whether it's tawny or ruby. And drinking from my trusted Whiskey G glass. This is our whiskey club in Ankara. Cheers to everyone from the Whiskey G. All right, on the nose, Fettercairn, 16. Oh, wow. Yeah, port is there. I mean, sweet and tannic at the same time. But more, ooh, candy floss. Yes. So much. This has to be ruby port. Tawny gives me a much more salty note. This is ruby port. Yeah. Candy floss, I'm trying to move from it. Cherries, raspberries. Yeah, strawberry jam. Oh, very sweet. A little bit of a sour note. Hint of cinnamon. Cinnamon swirls, cinnamon sticks. Nice bready note. Yeah, a little bit buttery. It's a pretty nose. Buttery. Some nice shortbread. Candy floss, shortbread. Very pretty nose. Yeah. Let's see on the palate. All right. All right. Now we're above that 46%. Now we're doing no chill filtration. The mouthfeel immediately changes. Oh, that is right. Okay. I'm going to get it to you now. It's very sweet. Hint of spice. That will be from the 16 years of it. And bready notes come forward, mixed with the sweet, becomes a bit more donutty note. Not glazed, not chocolatey donut, but just basically a sweet baked good. Maybe some sugar sprinkled, but very doughy, very yeasty. Well, not very yeasty, just a little bit bready and buttery. Yeah, scones. Yes, scones. Buttery scones with some raspberry or strawberry jam. And maybe a clotted cream. Are you from Devon? Are you from Cornwall? Is it cream first, jam second? Is it jam first, cream second? I don't know. You tell me. Yes, let's vote on the scones. If you're from England, or yeah, let me know. All right. Yeah, but I'm already feeling it a bit too much. Yeah, on the nose it's a bit more spicy, but on the palate it's way too sweet. The port pipes must have been incredibly active. It says first fill port pipes, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, great, kudos for them for using proper casks. But 16 years in first fill port pipes, really, the spirit really took it. You get a little bit of bourbon sweetness in there as well. I would put this whiskey into the overwhelming category. And as you can see from the combination of it, that's the least of it. That's the one that I did the least damage to. Right, moving on. Longmorn 16. And I had to have to keep the bottle, the box. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes. And now, the bottle, because that's no joke. Look at that. That's leather. There you go. Longmorn 16. One of those interesting distilleries. They call it the secret Speyside, don't they? Belongs to the Pernod Ricard, Chivas Brothers. A remarkable expression of age and elegance. This single malt is matured in 3 types of oak casks. Which 3 types? 16 years, a combination of highly prized ex-sherry, American, and traditional oak. Traditional oak, we have a, yeah, something similar. Again, means refill bourbon. Traditional oak, chocolate full flavored. Nothing interesting, just marketing. Blah. But one interesting fact about Longmorn is the father of Japanese whiskey, Masataka Taketsuru, worked at Longmorn in his stint in Scotland. Is that where he met Rita while he was working there? Because he worked in Campbelltown in 2 different distilleries and then moved to Longmorn. Maybe he met Rita there. Or maybe in university, I'm not so sure. Anyway, neither here nor there. I did show you the bottle. I'm looking at anything different. I love that leather. It's purple as well. It's pretty cool. Right, ex-sherry, first fill and refill bourbon. That's what I read, didn't I? No, so basically a couple of refill bourbons, I'm assuming, ex-sherry and American English. All right, on the nose. This is, 48% ABV, non-chill filtered and natural color. So this is the most robust of them all. Oh, so clean, so fresh. Whatever sherry they used is not first fill. It's just adding a little bit of spice, sweetness, or maybe spiciness. But it's incredibly fresh. I got a lot of floral notes, fresh fruits, like a fruit basket. But there's heaviness in there. Yeah, honey, a lot of malty actually, a lot of malty notes. Get a little bit of nuts. Caju, yeah. Cashew nuts. A little bit of peanut. Maybe a hint of light milky chocolate. Oh, but mostly tangerine, orange. Yeah, a little bit of pineapple, apricot. Not peach, apricot. But vanilla and caramel, mostly feeling like a bourbon nose on the palate. Oh, that is pretty. Yeah. That is sweet, that is fresh, floral, it's chewy, goes on and on and on. Oak spices there as a really nice step towards the sweet and fresh flavors. Oh, it's a very pretty, actually, it's a straightforward whiskey, you know. If you want to give your friend something a bit more distillate driven, because none of these casks are active. So the Longmorn spirit is beautiful, it's robust, it's hefty, and it's a fresh whiskey. It's light, it's not heavy as the Mortlach, but it's light and fresh with a lot of ex-bourbon notes really coming forward. Honestly, I'm having trouble finding. The sherry is on the long finish. Yes, did you see the light bulb there? It is on the long finish. It just leaves a nice, sweet... Oh, I just had like a little bit of a cookie. It just leaves a nice, sweet note on the back palate and the finish. Well, mostly on the back finish, actually. Oh, that is really good. That is really good. It's one of those whiskeys that you know, when you drink it, you're like, yeah, this is what a good whiskey is supposed to be. No extra cask plays, just let the distillate shine. Even though there are 3 different casks, I think they picked them so nicely that the distillate really works. Beautiful, beautiful whiskey. All right, now wrap it up. All right, starting from Balvenie, Mortlach. Now Mortlach smells a bit smoky compared to Balvenie. Wow, okay. Very sweet. And we have the freshness of it. Okay, very different, very different. Now Balvenie sour. All right, from last to first. Last place, I think you've guessed it, goes to Balvenie. The palate is super diluted. Even the nose is diluted. It's a bit sour. It's a nondescript whiskey. I won't remember this tomorrow. I'll just forget about it. Third place goes to Fettercairn. But for me, I'm not a massive fan of sweet whiskeys. If you like your whiskeys really sweet, this is a fantastic expression because it uses first fill port pipes and it's absolutely apparent on the nose. Massive candy floss notes, a little bit of a tannic note, beautifully sweet and sumptuous, just like juicy. But it's not for me. So, second place, I'm gonna give it to Mortlach. It is, even now, it's a very minerally, oh, what is that? Ooh, mastic. If you're Greek or you're Turkish or you're Cypriot, you would know what mastic would feel like, taste like. It's a tree sap that we make gum out of. if you, but I can't explain it to you if you haven't tasted it. But there's Skinos. I'll put the photo up there. That's the most famous mastic liqueur. And there's, if you've ever been to Greece for your holidays, you could have, or Turkey, you could have mastic flavored ice cream. I just had that. I've never had that. Oh my God, is this gonna change? Oh, this? No. But nearly Mortlach, nearly. Second place goes to Mortlach 16. Absolute beauty of a dram. And now that I found a new note, I'm gonna enjoy this more. And the first place goes to Longmorn 16. A sweet and fresh and floral and fruity dram, married perfectly, distilled incredibly. It just stands out with its box, with its bottle, with its taste. It's a special whiskey. If you can find it, get it. I think it's discontinued, but there's Longmorn 18. I'll do that review once I get to it. But yeah, try a Longmorn. They say the distiller's version is not great, so maybe don't try that. Either try a independent bottle of Longmorn, but if you can find it, try Longmorn 16. It's beautiful. All right, guys, thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this, at least one part of it. If you have, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. It does mean a lot to me. And if you want to buy me a dram, if you want to see a bit more reviews, you can join. You can be a member of my channel, and then you can tell me which whiskey you would like me to review. And until the next time, cheers, and I'll see you.